to me believe like they wanted us to be, we don't know what happened in the dark. That's very scary. And this Hitchcock logic of like what you don't see makes it scarier. But like the scene is very lazy and it just, I don't know. It's just kind of goofy that he would go out the way he did.
Now, the one thing I want to know if you noticed. So Trish is in a house and she's trying to escape. And then you have Crispin Glover nailed to a door, right?
Yeah, crucifix style.
But then one of the twins is just laying in front of the door.
It's not like she couldn't have vaulted right over that.
She could have hurdled her.
Well, that's my point about Trish. She's kind of a wuss.
And then she busts through a window instead.
Yeah, that's final girl logic. That's perfectly encapsulated in that sequence.
So, do we believe in this world that dead twins put off a force field that you can't jump past?
Boy, that's some kind of logic leap for even you. I guess what we can assume is that Trish is a vampire, and the twin had garlic on her.
Oh.
That's my theory.
Have you ever watched the movie Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Oh, absolutely. I used to adore that movie as a kid.
Wait, used to? Ooh, garlic. Garlic.
Before I knew better.
No, wait. No one ever knows what I'm talking about, but I'm like, ooh, a raspberry. A raspberry. Oh, it's a raspberry. Are you eating the spider? No, I love that movie. Oh, my gosh.
Peace, Leslie Nielsen.
I love that movie. After watching the original Dracula, like 31, and then watching that, it makes a lot more sense. So I have some questions for you here before we forget about them, because this is as good as time as any. And so some questions we have are, was Crispin Glover a dead, I don't want to get an R rating, so a dead effer?
Well, I think the easy answer is no. I mean, he's obviously scored with the twin, right? And then he brought her panties out as a victory trophy. So I think that pretty much cements his status. And she even tells him, right? He asks very anxiously, and he gets his confirmation. I think that he's redeemed.
Good. All right. I'm
going to go back, though, because he is technically a dead F because he was killed.
Yeah, he gets corkscrewed.
I guess if you want to be punny, there's your answer. But I think in bed he succeeds.
Good. Now, I know the answer to this, but how did Tommy Jarvis know what little kid Jason looked like enough to cut his hair? And he found the newspaper clipping from Rob. And he put it up on his window, and he cut his hair like that on his mirror. Did you see that scene?
I sure did. I think the bigger question is what is the brain of a boy like Tommy Jarvis that understands child psychology quickly enough to make the snap decision to go upstairs, emulate Jason in appearance, and speak to him as if he's looking at his child self? I don't know what that says about Tommy Jarvis, although I think the sequel right after that with Part 5 pretty much tells us everything we need to know. But that was what was on my mind, and I was just very dumbfounded by this.
I mean, he does create beautiful like monsters, heads, and prosthetics. I want to talk about that. And also, when I was rewatching this movie, and he's a mechanic.
I remember early in the movie, his mother, Corey Feldman's mother in the movie, she at one point has a throwaway line that's like, "Oh, you need a haircut," and I'm thinking, why is this in the movie? It makes no sense. His hair is okay. It's like every other 80s child's movie haircut. And sure enough, by the time he gets his at the end where he cuts his hair and shaves it off, I'm like, that's why.
Chekhov's haircut.
Yeah, something like that. But to your point about the masks, now I love the fact that Tom Savini came back for this movie. He was like, all right, I helped create this beast. Literally, I'm going to come back for the last. And everybody knows Tom Savini. He's the legend. He's just like the best guy out there for makeup and special effects. So when he came back, I couldn't help but think that this was his just way of flexing, right? Like, yeah, these are all my masks. I made this. Now, that's fine and dandy. It's obvious fan service. But we're talking about like a 7-year-old kid maybe coming up with the abilities to make these. Like, okay, not only is Tommy Jarvis adept at child psychology, but he is so crafty and talented that he's making Hollywood tier special effects masks. Like, get the fuck out. Get out of here with that.
He's a classic precocious child.
That's pushing it, man. I don't know.
You watch these movies.
Like prodigious.
Precocious children have been in cinema forever.
Absolutely. And they're a staple in horror, but there's a difference between precocious and prodigious.
So why not? Why can't he be prodigious?
I mean, I guess so.
According to the movie logic, right?
Right. Can I just say I also love that little bit of him in bed oogling hornily
yeah.
at that couple as they're getting freaky across the way. It's just like, it's so weird. But at the same time, it's like, this is actually a weird, tender moment where you could see a kid his age being like goofy as shit, rolling around in this like bed, getting excited over this. It's an awkward thing, which goes back to my earlier statement, but it's oddly sincere, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it rings true.
Yeah.
Now, last question. Who is better at asking a fellow party guest to dance? Crispin Glover in this movie or Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters?
I gotta give it to Crispin. I think they're both equally awkward, but he clearly scored, right? Rick Moranis got what? A demon dog crashing his party?
Yeah.
Didn't really work out for him.
I love the confidence of Rick Moranis, though, in that. There was
It
zero...
is, yeah.
When he says it...
There's no anxiety.
Yeah.
Crispin has the anxiety.
Yeah.
Not Rick.
Rick... I gotta go with Rick, because that demon dog wrecked it. And plus, you gotta remember, he struck out with the twin, too, and she just went back to him because that one guy went to go back to his girlfriend. So it wasn't his dancing.
I don't know. She was laughing pretty hard, and girls love a guy who's funny.
Yeah, that dancing. I mean, it was a wonderful acting decision, but I don't know. I just loved the confidence of Rick Moranis in that scene. He just... and he had some decent little moves, too.
Oh, totally. I think the nerdy guys are the best dancers. Because dancing... Well, there's many different types of dancing, but I'm a big believer that if you dance like you don't give a shit about who's watching, then you're probably having a good time, and that shows.
Now, Rick Moranis, his dancing wasn't... It was good. I don't know. The other dancing I felt was a little actory, right? A decision. But Moranis felt very organic.
Okay.
I loved it. I dance like that at parties. I haven't danced in
that
years.
I would love to see. Was that going to be part of your Patreon content if you start up tiered memberships, is unlocking the video of Mark dancing like Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters?
Every month, I'm going to unleash a 3-minute clip of me just dancing.
I'd sign up.
For $1 a month.
That's my $1 tier Patreon subscription.
I would do it. I would take it seriously. I would learn the moves. I could do it. I
believe you.
I think I should. That's how I make my fortune.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This is my last point I want to definitely drill down into because it's bothering me a lot. When does this movie take place? Don't think too hard on it. That's my point. That's my point. If you don't think too hard on it, you can't really tell. What day does this take place? I'll tell you why that's important.
Isn't it later than what it should have been?
That's my point. So look, the pacing in this movie, true to the franchise, is horrible. Not just in editing, but in pacing. So, right, we end that scene where he awakes in the morgue, and it's suddenly... And by the way, let me backtrack a little bit. Up to this point, Jason has drowned in the first movie. He has been sliced in the chest and in the head with a machete. He's been hanged. In part 3, he ends up getting hanged.
Yeah.
And that is actually, for your listeners, the proper term for hanged. It is not hung. So, remember that.
You can say hung if you want, guys. It's okay.
It's wrong. I'm telling you here, it's wrong. Anyways, my point is, he's gone through all this, right? And he does this. He lashes out and kills on his birthday, Friday the 13th, right? So when he comes to at that morgue, and suddenly we jump to inexplicably 2 women, right, jogging through the woods in the daytime. We don't know what day it is. Could it be a year later? Could it be a day later? Come to find out through some puzzling on my part, it is, I think, the day after. Now, my point is, if he comes out on his birthday, by and large, he's cheating, right? Did he cheat? Because this is Saturday the 14th.
Yeah.
And what annoys me is about these movies is like they don't care to illustrate what day it is, like Halloween. Halloween, for all its faults, always does a good job of saying, okay, this is October 30th. This is when he's getting out of the mental institution. They're right here. We are at October 31st. This is the day he's going to do all of his stuff. It's very concentrated, and it doesn't take a title card, right? It just takes some exposition. Somebody says the date. I don't know. But yeah, I'm wondering, man, this final chapter didn't end well for him. Maybe it's because he picked the wrong fucking day.
How long has Rob been hunting him?
That's another great question. We don't know. He heard about this on the news? I guess that's my lowest hanging fruit. I assume that he saw the news report, the same one that they put on in the hospital. Maybe he sprung into action. We don't know. But he looks like a guy with determination who's been on the hunt for a while.
Yeah. He looks like Roddy Piper, the cheap version of Roddy Piper from They Live.
He looks like a dime store Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper would have whapped out Jason easily.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty quick contest.
John Nada would have destroyed him. And I have a They Live podcast coming out before this one, so you should listen to the They Live podcast that we released.
Yeah, do that.
It's very good.
Stop listening to this one, pause it, go back and listen to that one, and then you can continue.
All right, and we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have listened to the They Live podcast, and we'll just talk about the rest of the movies just about They Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and that was in no way a clumsy way to jump into the break, was it, Adam?
No, I got my viewing in of They Live, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Ooh, so all right. So in the podcast, which you can listen to, I recorded with my good friend Norbert. We used to watch it once a month when I lived in Korea, and he and I would watch it, and we had a full discussion about what kind of gum John Nada would chew, and we go in depth into the gum chewing, and we pick a gum. You have to listen to the podcast that we feel encapsulates his character.
I'm gonna go ahead and venture a guess.
What?
Big League Chew.
No, not even close.
Oh my goodness! I guess I got to re-listen to that pod.
What do you think about me, Adam?
I mean, I took a shot. It was a leap.
Oh man, you know what's funny is you and I are two adults in our 30s.
Yes, I'm an adult.
And when you said Big League Chew, I got annoyed.
You got annoyed? Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry for taking an educated guess.
But that's so bad, though. I should not be getting annoyed. I was like, Big League Chew? What are you talking about?
Well, you ain't chewing orbits.
All right, I'm going to say it. I'm going for it. All right?
Okay, go for it.
Here's what it is. Spearmint. 5-pack. 15 cents. He doesn't have much money. Easy to carry. He doesn't like Bubblicious. Too fancy. He doesn't like double mint because he doesn't like 2 mints. But if it was double spearmint or double mint, he would go with double mint. But since it's just spear mint and in an inexpensive pack, that's what he gets.
Mark, I hate to rain on your parade, but does the quote not infamously go, I'm all out of bubblegum?
John Nada doesn't care. He probably, some people call soda pop. Some people call it dinner supper.
Okay, but you're calling him a liar now.
He is not getting those individual packs of gum that you have to chomp on and
I'm
chewing
not saying
that.
he is. I'm saying his preferred flavor is bubblegum.
He seems like
brand.
He seems like a very spearmint bubblegum. That's a gum. You can blow bubbles with spearmint gum.
Mark, you're telling me that there exists a brand either now or in the past that is both hybrided bubble and spearmint.
Bubblegum is gum and gum is bubblegum.
Okay, so you're taking the position that like mom says, "What you play? Are you playing Nintendo again?"
Yes.
Like Kleenex is a tissue for everything. Like every brand is Kleenex.
Yeah, I live in the South. We drink Coke. I don't drink Coke,
right.
But
AKA Tab.
Everything is Coke. All my family in Iowa, they all say, "Do you want a pop?" And that means Mountain Dew. So he is calling bubblegum. Just, he's thinking of something. He wasn't thinking. And I think...
See, I was thinking of somebody who was a bit more brand loyal. I see John Nada and I think that guy, he's a slugger type. He's an All-American. He's chewing what the baseball players do.
Why? But I don't... See, that just means he's got a thing. And he doesn't have a thing in that. He never pledges allegiance to anything in this movie.
Okay,
he's just happy to work.
That's fair. He's anti-capitalist. He doesn't want to consume... He's not brand loyal. You're right. I stand corrected.
I think he's just happy with a spearmint. He'll take a stick of gum. I think he's more into stick of gums than he is an individual wrapped gum or a bag of Big League Chew that you have to wrap up and then you got to take too much and then it's so sweet for like 30 seconds and you want to puke and then you want to spit it out and put more in your mouth. It's just a vicious circle of sugar that you're consuming.
I'm okay with whatever gum he may nominate. I think as long as it's not like... Think of an example of modern-day John Nada, right? He's a conspiracy theorist wearing sunglasses, carrying around a bunch of guns, and he's a white man. You best believe he's not chewing bubblegum. He's got skull going on. He's got, chewing tobacco, and he probably listens to Alex Jones. So, you know what? after everything, I'm okay with whatever gum he decides to chew.
But see, he wasn't a conspiracy theorist until he latched on to the conspiracy. So I don't think we can say his character is a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.